What is going on, guys? It's Cameron and I am back reviewing Spider-Man issue 3. Sorry for the lack of videos, but university work is a little crazy. I finish university on the 28th of April, so the end of this month, so after that I will go back to reviewing and uploading 2 videos a day, just like it used to be. Like seriously, I used to do 2 or 3 videos a day. It was crazy. So I can't wait to get back to doing that. But before we get into this review, I need to announce that I'm doing a giveaway for this. And there's actually going to be 2 code giveaways. So I'm going to give them both away on my Twitter, and I'm randomly going to tweet them out. So guys, if you go to the links in the description, follow me on Twitter and look out for those codes. I will tweet one out tonight and I will tweet one out tomorrow night as well. So keep an eye out for that. Now getting into the issue on screen, I love the front cover, just how Spider-Man is utilising his webbing to hold his school books up, and it really seems like obviously he wants to be a superhero, but he has to study, and that's what we saw in the previous issue when Miles' grandmother came over and pretty much forced him to do it, and it seems like she's going to kick him into gear, get his grades back out there, and it's going to be a little bit of a problem for him being Spider-Man as well, so we're going to have to see how he's going to get around that, and I can't wait to see it. So guys, we've waited long enough, let's get into this review. So we open up the issue and of course it begins exactly where the previous issue left off, with Miles' grandmother arriving at his house to kick his grades into gear, getting back on track, not knowing that he's actually Spider-Man the superhero, part of the all new, all different Avengers. And what I liked about the character development straight away was that it wasn't just Miles that had to put up with the grandmother being there, it was also Jefferson, Miles' father, who also had to deal with her as well. So it really feels like Miles and his father get on really well in these situations because they both hate the same person, or at least they don't get along with her anyway. And in a way, Miles' father is going through a similar situation with her, you know, like having to put up with her, feeling trapped inside his own house type of thing, just like Miles feels like right now, except it's about Spider-Man and schoolwork. Now the comic is obviously suggesting that Jefferson and the grandmother do not like each other at all. They've already met, they already hate each other, and it's most likely because of Jefferson's past, you know, like he used to be a gangster who was involved with his brother and the Kingpin, and so in a way the grandmother is ashamed of Jefferson and kind of looks down on him a little bit. Now we know that he's a changed man, we know that he hasn't done that for years, but it seems like the grandmother just can't let it go, and it's almost like Jefferson can't escape his past. I especially loved how the comic portrayed the grandmother as kind of like the villain for this issue, because Miles isn't actually Spider-Man in this issue. He never goes out as Spider-Man battling villains or anything, so the grandmother is like the necessary evil in this comic. She's only there because she loves Miles and she wants to make sure that he's getting his grades in school, because what you've got to remember is that Miles is in an academy school. Like seriously, the chances of getting into this school, if you remember in like the very first issue of Miles Morales, like years ago, the chances of him getting into that school was like winning the lottery. So it's almost like he's throwing his education away that he's been like blessed with. But obviously it's not his fault, but from the grandmother's point of view, he is throwing it away. So getting into the second half of the comic, I can just feel it through the screen. You guys are absolutely raging at Miles' grandmother right now. You hate her. And that is what the comic is actually pushing you to do. You can see that she's jumping to conclusions with the drugs. She's not even listening to the mother about like being too hard on Miles or anything like that. And overall it's just kind of really obnoxious and thinks that she's kind of the best, if you get what I mean. Like it's her way or no way. As you've also noticed, this comic is introducing us to Miles' friends. Now we haven't really got to know his new friends now that he's in this all new, all different universe. So I'm still waiting to see when we're going to be introduced to Miles' new friends, or maybe a new girlfriend or a love interest or something like that. Actually, right now I think it's a little bit too early to have Miles getting a love interest, considering that he's only just got to this new universe. But I'm kind of getting a little bit of a vibe off Miss Marvel and Miles getting together. Like they really seem like awesome characters together. And honestly, I would love to see that. Even though Nova and Miss Marvel kind of have like a little bit of a hate-love relationship, it would so make sense for Miles to be dating Miss Marvel. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Going back over to Miles' grandmother, I absolutely hated her at first. Like I was so glad that this person didn't exist in real life. But then I took a step back after I finished the issue, and I was actually thinking to myself, that's really awesome writing from Brian Michael Bendis, because he's done his job there. He's made you hate her. That's her job. She's the character that you're supposed to dislike, but also like at the same time, because in a way, she's doing it out of love. As you can see on screen right now, she's coming across as a really, really genuine person. Like she loves Miles, she's just doing it to help him with his education. So basically what I'm saying is, I love the fact that I hate her. It's brilliant. Just one thing to mention really quick as well, because we don't actually say rain check in the UK, so some of you guys, if you're in the UK, you might not actually understand what it means. Basically, rain check means you accept the invitation, but not today. So basically what she's saying is, yes, Miles wants to be in the Avengers and train with them, etc., but she knows he can't today, so it's okay. Going over to the Bronx, something that I completely forgot about was that Black Cat has turned to the dark side in a way. Like, she used to be just this character that was kind of like an anti-hero, like she was kind of in the middle, just in it for the fun. And then after Superior Spider-Man beat the living crap out of her and humiliated her, she's just gone full-on dark, psycho villain, full-on craziness. And she's been like that ever since. And now she's got her target set on the new Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I love how she acknowledges that there's so many Spider-Men in the city now. Like, we've got Spider-Man 2099, we've got Miles Morales Spider-Man, we've got Peter Parker Spider-Man, we've got Spider-Woman, and well, it's getting a little bit crazy when you think about it, so of course the villains are going to notice. Now, a little bit of a heads up, Miles actually hasn't been up against the Black Cat of the Ultimate Universe before, like in his Ultimate Spider-Man comics before Secret Wars, so it's going to be interesting to see how Miles deals with the Black Cat when he does come into battle with her, hopefully in the next few issues or something like that. I remember Black Cat going up against Ultimate Spider-Man Peter Parker, but not so much Miles, so I hope I'm right about that. Especially since Hammerhead is coming into the game as well, it's going to be interesting to see how Miles goes up against his concrete FOD, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other villains Miles Morales will be going up against who were originally 616 Spider-Man villains. That we've got the Black Cat, Hammerhead, maybe even the real Mysterio, because we do know that the Mysterio in the Ultimate Universe wasn't actually a real person, it was an avatar sent by the 616 Mysterio, so hopefully one day Miles Morales will actually meet the real Mysterio for real. Like, I already know that he battled him in the Spider-Men crossover, but it'd be interesting to see Miles and Mysterio completely go head to head, just to see how that turns out. I reckon that would be really fun. Now, coming up to the final few pages of this comic, I actually got some really bad nostalgia because we're reviewing the Ultimate Spider-Man comics with Peter Parker right now, and it was so awesome to see that the school, like the teacher, was talking about mutants and discussing Inhumans and all of that. And if you don't remember, in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics with Peter Parker, everybody hated mutants. Like, they literally hated mutants. They thought they were like some plague. They thought that they just like didn't deserve to be here. So I thought it was awesome how the teacher and the school were kind of just openly talking about mutants and accepting them into their school, because Bombshell was actually accepted into Peter Parker's school and she was pretty much hated for being in that school because she was a mutant. So it's awesome to see how like people's beliefs and like opinions change over time. Like, look at Gank. He is backflipping because this guy called Golden Balls or something like that is joining their school. Back in the day, that would have not happened. But guys, that is the end of this issue. That is the end of this review. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget about the giveaways that I'm doing on my Twitter. You can go to the links in the description to follow me on there and look out for those codes. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. It was really interesting, as I've already said, with the grandmother and just how the comic makes you hate her, but you kind of love her at the same time because you know her heart is in the right place. And what I didn't point out yet is that you know it's a good comic because it entertains you without actually having Miles suit up as Spider-Man. I especially love the cameo from Miss Marvel that just kind of popped in there really quickly to talk to Miles. That was a nice interaction. And of course, towards the end with Hammerhead and Black Cat, 616 Spider-Man villains coming into the Miles side of the things was awesome to see. And I can't wait for more. So guys, last but not least, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. Follow me on my Facebook page for all latest comic book news and updates, and of course my Twitter to see when videos are being uploaded and just to know what video is going up next. Or you can change my mind and actually make me upload an Ultimate Spider-Man review first before anything else. So yeah, go for that. And I will see you all in my next video.